Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan from Gamereactor. We're here at Gamescom 2016 and I'm here at the Roccat booth taking a look at a new gamer pad called Sova. Thank you for talking with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Basically, you announced this a while ago,
right?
This Sova gaming pad. What have you done since then up till release?
Well, we first showed this actually at CES back in 2014, so this is quite a while ago. Since then, a lot has happened. We mostly reworked the ergonomics of the whole thing. We checked that the the whole dimensions of everything, that they're just fine and perfect and work out in an ideal way for almost everybody. Like we checked how deep the wrist rest should be, so you can comfortably rest your palm over here, which is essential really if you want to play on your couch for hours on end. There's you could easily just rest a keyboard on your lap really and put the mouse on the sofa, but that isn't comfortable for any decent amount of time. We also thought about some comfort solutions. Obviously, you can hook up a mouse, any mouse really, to the Sova, and hold that up maybe. There's like an USB hub beneath it, so you have two USB ports. One connects the mouse, and as you know, a mouse cable is usually like around 2 meters long, and you don't want to have the cable dangling around somewhere back there in the front of your couch. So we have a cable channel over here where you can fit like the whole length of the cable in there, and at some point pull it out and attach it to this mouse bungee, so you have a decent freedom of moving about your mouse on the mouse pad. You can actually exchange the mouse pad as well as the wrist rest, which works pretty easily as well. I'm gonna turn it around again. If you remove the bottom cushions, and there it already says push to release. Yeah. I'll push and I'll turn it around again, and
so you can basically get whatever you want here in time.
Right, and we're going to offer different alternatives, different styles, a cloth version, something like that. Yeah, and it's very easy to put in again. It's actually, as you can see, there's a couple of magnets down here as well. So it stays more safely in place, but other than that, it works really easy. And then let me put that.
So what is your basic philosophy about this whole thing? Bringing PC gaming to the living room. That's basically the idea. We don't want to tell people that, hey, stop playing games at your desk or anything, because competitive play is still obviously very much like Counter-Strike or something. It's very much going to be staying at the desk. But if you want to just play one of your favorite PC games that is best played with a mouse and keyboard in the comfort of your living room or bedroom, then you can now without having to resort to a controller. It's a comfort thing, really. So if that's your thing, like, hey, I would always thought about playing in the living room with a mouse and a keyboard, but I've never quite found a comfortable solution, there you have it. And you got two different versions, right? This is the mechanical one, right?
This is the mechanical version, which you can see here is the Sova MK. It has brown switches, and with the tactile feel to it. And we also have a membrane version, which comes a little bit cheaper and has membrane keys. The layout of the keyboard is the same though for both versions.
Okay, and is there anything else sort of customizable? One of the other people here talked about able to put iPhone holders or smartphone holders.
It's the thing I just removed a couple of minutes ago. You can put the smartphone smartphone holder right here, and I don't have my smartphone on me right now. We'll just rest it here, so you can always see when somebody's writing you a message. You have everything like there at the palm of your finger or at your fingertip, really. So this is flexible. It works with pretty much all smartphone sizes. I have an This was a 4S or something, I think. I have a 6. It's a little bit bigger, I guess, and it also fits here nicely.
Yeah. Is there anything else you really want to point out about this?
Yeah, one more thing probably I'd point out is we saw the USB hub down here, and on the other USB port you can of course hook up your cell phone, so you could charge it while gaming, or you could put a USB headset over there. Yeah, basically any USB device. And one more thing, like you don't have to worry about somebody tripping over the cable, be it your cat, kid, girlfriend, grandparent, whatever, weird guy that lives on your couch, because it has a breakaway cable that works pretty much like the yeah, just like this.
Yeah.
And so there's no tug on it at all. You won't pull your PC from your desk, and you won't pull the Sova from your lap.
Have you planned in time to perhaps make a wireless version?
We actually have been working on a wireless version of the Sova for quite a while. It was the first prototype we showed was actually wireless, but we decided for the first version to go with a wired variant, because we asked the people out there what they would like, and they say, well, you know what, I prefer less input lag over a wireless version, but we're working on that, and we'll be coming out with it at some point.
Okay, and I think there's something else you want to show us as well?
That's right, we're going to have a look at Skelter in a minute.
Okay, let's take a look at that. So, Tom, what are we taking a look at here?
So, this is our new Roccat Skelter. It will be available from the 1st of September. And it's our new smart communication RGB gaming keyboard. RGB, of course, because, lots of shiny lights and over 16 million colors. We have 5 lighting zones on this keyboard. 2 on each side, and then of course all the keys. Since it's a membrane keyboard, there's no individual per key lighting. It's just not technically possible. That only works with mechanical keyboards like our Rise MKFX, for example. Other than that, very still pretty fancy lighting effects, like you could have a breathing or blinking effect. Let's say have it start in orange, turn off or fade out, then come up again in green, go off again, turn up in blue, something like that. Whatever you want, really. Like some of you might already know our Swarm software, and our software is pretty customizable, and there's a lot of illumination options going on. We offer full custom mode, as well as quite a lot of preset modes, which I'm not going to go into great detail here. You can check it out in some other videos, and on our YouTube channel there's some explanations about it. And going back to Skelter, as I said, membrane keyboard. Still, it has a very nice feel to it. It's pretty precise for a membrane keyboard, easy to type long text on, and very nice to game on as well, obviously, even for longer play times, and you're not going to mistype a whole lot because it feels very, very direct and very you miss every hit, really. You actually get every keystroke, and you won't miss any of them. Also, we've been listening to our customers out there, because some were saying, well, they like the wrist rest on our previous keyboard series like Isku or Ryas, but they kind of dislike the fact that it isn't detachable, which of course makes it for a really big footprint. So for Skelter, we made it detachable, and it goes out really easily and also clips in just as easily. What we kept, I'm going to put this away for a second, what we kept were the free thumb keys, which are actually really nice. I personally like them a lot. We have them on other keyboards as well, for when you play something like World of Warcraft, because you can have some spells down here which you don't necessarily include in your regular rotation, but if you need them, you need them quickly, like Counterspell, for example. And on the classic macro keys over here, M1 through M5, we've you can put something more relaxed, really, like you can spells you don't use under time pressure, something like that. Yeah, if you use the easy shift key, which is by default bound to the caps lock key, you can actually double up these keys over here between Q and T and A and G and Y and V to also double up as macro keys. So obviously you have a whole bunch of programming options here should you ever need that many. And yeah, that's the basic stuff really. Of course, if you hit FN, you have like some multimedia and lighting options over the F keys up here. And the cool thing or the unique thing about the Skelter really is the smartphone and tablet rail over here at the top. And it fits basically virtually any mobile device. Like even the oldest iPad, the iPad 1 still fits in there from size well. If you might...
It can stand pretty safely.
Yeah, it stands pretty safely. Like if I push down here, you see I push pretty hard up here actually, and it just lifts up the keyboard, but my phone doesn't slip out. Same if I put it in a slightly, in the landscape mode where the angle is actually worse. There's no connector in there or anything because, with the variety of phones and tablets out there, it doesn't really make sense to integrate the connectors into the rail itself because you would lose a lot of flexibility. What we do have is we have a USB port in the back of Skelter where you can hook up your charging cable, in this case an iPhone charging cable, to charge your phone while it's in the cradle over here. With the Skelter, we deliver this pretty short micro USB cable, which is, of course, it doesn't take up a lot of space and is interesting for Android users, but of course doesn't do Apple users any good. I'm not going to go into any details why we're not shipping an Apple cable with this. You can also see that there's an audio cable hooked up. There's also an audio jack back here. And with the audio jack, you can connect your phone to the keyboard, and through the keyboard, you can connect it to your PC headset. We've been fiddling around with this cable a little bit, just for kicks. I'm gonna hook that up over here. This is an audio pass-through. It comes straight from your PC. And the cool thing is now, if somebody gives you a call on your cell phone, you just push this very recognizable call button over here, and then you can take the call on your PC headset actually. And the PC sound in this case is muted, so this is exclusively, it's like a toggle, so you don't have to worry about other people here, like in TeamSpeak, hearing what you're saying on the phone should it be a private conversation maybe. Once you hit the key again, the light indicator here turns off, so well, I'm definitely in TeamSpeak, Skype, or just my game sound again.
Can you actually both hear something from your iPhone, perhaps, I don't know, a video, music, whatever, while you're doing the game or something else?
But you can only have one sound source at a time, so it's either, no, you're switching, right. It's exclusive, so mutually exclusive. Either you have PC sound or you have smartphone or tablet sound. The next cool feature is I'm going to cheat a little bit, so I can demonstrate it. If you have like a messenger service or something like that, and you're getting a message, we'll just pretend this message just came in right now, right? Then I'll hit this key over here, and all of a sudden I can type to my smartphone or my tablet, and also send these messages, of course. I'll hit Roccat Enter in this case, and this sends the message to my colleagues in our WhatsApp group. If I want to type on the PC again, I just hit the button again, and there we go. I'm back on the desktop. This is actually a Bluetooth connection. It pairs really easily. You push this button right here for like 1 or 2 seconds. Then the Bluetooth indicator starts lighting up, and then the keyboard becomes visible, and you can pair it with your phone. So, going on to the next cool thing.
which is the Swarm app, which will also be released on the 1st of September, just as the keyboard. It will be available for free in the Play Store and in the App Store. Has several cool functions, like this is the home screen, as you can see. You have multimedia functions, skip to the next track, previous track, play, pause. You can take a screenshot. It also actually tells you where it saves it. You can, of course, change where the screenshot is saved. It shows you the CPU temperature. This would be the GPU temperature, which it doesn't show at the moment because there's it's the integrated graphics card of the processor, so there's no dedicated value for that. There's network input-output traffic, what's going in, what's going out, the RAM, amount of RAM you use. You can, of course, change the volume as well. What I think is pretty nice is this for the mic. This is actually not a toggle on-off switch, but you can adjust the level of sensitivity of your mic, which is pretty neat. Of course, we have a lot of different settings as well, options. When in the Skelter settings, you can switch between the different profiles that are stored on your keyboard. Wait a second. Yeah, so depending on the speed of your network, it takes maybe a second for the effects to actually take place. The Skelter tools show you the current actions per minute, as well as the highest APM you ever had, and the average as well. Also pretty fun is the mistakes per hit. Right now it's 5%. It might be something for editors-in-chief, you know. Every time you hit the backspace key, it's registered and calculates it against the total number of keystrokes and gives you an amount of, like a percentage, how many errors did you make. So it's like, dude, you made 20% in your last article. You mistyped, you have to stay 2 hours longer tonight. So no, forget about that. Dear editors, please forget about it. I'm just joking, really. We have a lot of monitoring options, as we already I showed some options. As you can see, there's not a lot you can see here, which is not the fault of our app, but actually, well, the fault. It's just the hardware. Your hardware needs to have those sensors, because if, for example, if you don't have a sensor that shows the temperature of your memory, then, well, you can't display it, obviously. So the more sensors your computer has, the more information our monitoring app will show you. In this case, we can, for example, see the rotations of the case fan at the moment, and with which load the case fan is actually running, 66% at the moment. So the tab software allows you to quick launch apps and programs. Let me close this real quick for demonstration purposes. For example, I have a notepad link in here. If I tap it, Notepad comes up, and you can pretty much link any software you like. Any game works with Steam games even, and you don't even need to link an executable. You can even just say, well, this is the Steam ID, and you can link that as well. And to wrap it all up, I'm going to show you, I'm going to pick up my phone for now, and show this in portrait mode because it's a lot easier to see. Once Swarm is released on the 1st of September, we're not going to stop development there. We'd like to be people to take part in the development process for the future. We'd like to add more functions, and which is why with every version we're going to give like goals, if you will, which could be integrated into the next version. So we propose 5 options where development could go, like integration of an achievement system, or the possibility to record live gameplay via your Swarm app, or the possibility to change the key assignment from your actual keyboard via smartphone. And as you can see up here, it's 5 categories, 5 points, which of course comes to a total of 25 points potentially able to spend, but we're only giving you 12, so you actually think about like, what do I really care about, what do I want to put some emphasis on, and afterwards, after you distribute your points, kind of like in a skill tree system, you submit it, and then our developers will have an idea. They can look it up in their database and will have an idea of where Swarm is going to go in the future, and you kind of have the possibility to be actively engaged in the development process, which we think is a pretty cool idea. And I guess that's it for now.